Heyo, what's up guys? So this video is basically for either new players coming to League, so who are completely beginners, or players who never really got into playing ranked and got placed really low in Iron. And I'll basically tell you guys how to escape Iron. So if you guys didn't know, I have been playing on an account from the worst rank, starting in Iron 4, all the way up to Gold 1 so far, 100 wins, 3 losses. And I've basically been playing in Iron, simply to see how Iron actually is, what it's all about. And I've now played in Iron, I have escaped Iron, what a surprise. I'll basically give you guys some tips on how to escape Iron. So before I actually started doing this challenge, I was coaching a player who just got into League, who was level like 20-ish and didn't really get introduced to League beforehand. So first up, the first thing you guys want to do in Iron is to find a few champions that you are gonna be good at playing. So my personal suggestions are, since if you're new to the game or you haven't really understood the game fully, then I would personally suggest buying and playing some champions that really cost 450, as you can see here. 1350 are also very simple champions, or you can go all the way up to 3150. Some of these champions are also very easy to play. In my opinion, in most scenarios, the less blue essence the champion costs, the easier it is to play. Otherwise, you can go in and find a specific champion and go in and look, and let's take, for example, Karma. And we click learn more, and then go for the difficulty setting, and basically find the champions that are between 1 and 2 skill difficulty. Don't play champions that are like at 3 out of 3 in difficulty, simply because that if you're new to the game, you basically want to learn the fundamentals of the game before you start learning anything regarding mechanics, like maining champions and stuff like that. So find some champions that have the difficulty setting 1. All you want to do is go to the store, find a champion, click learn more, and then look at the difficulty. I personally just difficulty 1, but you can up it to difficulty 2 if you really want to. So that's that. It doesn't really matter what type of champion you're playing, in what lane it is, if it's meta or not, if it's like a really popular pick or if a completely unpopular pick, just something that is somewhat easy to play and that you're capable of playing. So once you've picked up like a few champions that you would like to learn to start off, you'll be going into some games. If it's normal games, ranked games, doesn't really matter. I personally suggest going to League Wiki. So League Wiki is basically a League Wikipedia site that will give you all the information regarding the different champions and stuff like that. So let's say that we are playing Karma, and we are playing Karma in mid lane, and we are playing against a mid lane. So let's see what champion could be played in mid lane. Let's say we are playing against Lux. So we click on Lux, and this will basically give us all information about Lux. So there are a lot of numbers and might seem really confusing. You don't really have to look at any of this. You basically want to scroll down and go to this part. This part is the ability section. So here we have the passive. It will give you all the information about the passive, how it works, what it actually is. Here we have the Q. This will basically tell you what's the range, how much mana does it cost, and what's the cooldown, and how much damage does it do, and what does the ability itself actually do. So basically what you want to do every time that you're playing in a lane, you want to see like who am I playing against, look up the champion, scroll down to the ability section, and basically see like, okay, just like see what the actual ability does. You can also go to this details tab, and then you can actually get some more detailed stuff about it. Sometimes you'll also be finding a video. You can find it as well if you really need to, but basically read out the ability so you know what it does and you know what the enemy champion is capable of doing. Then the second thing you want to do is, let's say that we are going to play Karma. So Now we are going to UGG. UGG is a website for builds. We are basically gonna search up Karma. So here we get Karma. Let's say we don't want to play a support, we want to play here in mid lane instead. Then we go here, and then we can see, okay, we have the runes here. So you just want to copy this. You want to use the summoner spells, and then you want to do these abilities in this specific order. And then basically the build right here. This can be used for any champion. It can be used for Lux as well, in mid lane, support, whatever. You have the runes, you have the summoner spells, the skill path, like what ability you should upgrade, and the build. And then you just want to be following this. Don't question why. Don't like go into like too much detail and thought like, why am I supposed to do this? Just follow the instructions and like learn like the build by just copying it. Another thing I really suggest Iron players to do are go and play with players who are a bit more experienced. Doesn't have to be high-elo players, just someone that are maybe even just like silver or just plays a lot of normal games, who's been playing the games for like at least like a year or so. Doesn't have to be ranked, it can be normal as well, and basically learn from them. Basically ask a question, okay, what does this champion do? What am I supposed to build now? What are we supposed to do? Even though it's not the best of the best, you will still learn and get something from it, simply because this player has more experience than you, or is simply higher ranked than you, and you can learn from that. So, in order to escape Iron, let's summarize. We have finding a few champions that have the difficulty 1 or 2, so that are very basic. Then go into some games, preferably with friends who are a bit more experienced at the game that you can learn from. Go to League Wikipedia, find whatever champion you're playing against, reading out the abilities so you know what the enemy champion is capable of doing. And then you want to go to UGG and basically copy the runes, the master, or yeah, you basically want to do this before you get into game, but yeah, basically like copy the runes right here, get the summoner spells, and then you want to look at this part once you get it in game. And then you basically want to be playing the game out there. When it comes to in-game, in my opinion, what I tend to see a lot of Iron players do in terms of mistakes are simply trying too many things. They're trying out too many different things. This means they're playing too many different champions, trying too many different builds, trying too many different playstyles. And if there's one thing I want like Iron players, that I think Iron players should really be doing in order to escape Iron, is simply to learn the basics and really have a focus on laning phase. So really have focus on like how to farm, how to ward, how to last hit, how to maybe like trade against the enemy, how to like go for a kill, how to push a lane, stuff like that. Basically learn like the fundamentals, basically learn the early game, because the early game is going to be pretty much like how you get ahead in the early stages of the game. There will be a lot of mistakes in the early game, and you can punish from it, and you can get so far ahead of your opponent simply from laning phase that you're pretty much unstoppable later on into the game. So if I have to say one specific thing that Iron players have to focus on in game, it would have to be focusing on your laning phase. As I said, like farming, really good warding, stuff like basically like all the fundamentals of the game. And then basically keep on playing these, like, I suggest like 2 to 3 champions. Maybe you can up it to 4 for 2 different roles. And then basically learn the game through that champion. It's so much easier to learn the game throughout like a few champions compared to playing every single champion yourself and having to learn that champion. And then knowing like, what am I supposed to do against this champion as this champion? It's so much easier to just, okay, I'm playing my champion. I know what my champion is capable of doing. And then eventually you'll learn what the enemy's champion is capable of doing. And then you will basically like, look, okay, what can I do to like win a trade? How can I get a kill onto this player? And then you'll basically like learn the game simply from playing a few champions. And that is way faster and way more efficient than anything else. So those are pretty much my tips for Iron. And if you have any questions regarding low elo or the websites that I use or anything, then let me know in the comment section down below. And then I will see you guys in my next video, which will be how to escape bronze elo. So thanks so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next YouTube video or on my next live stream. So see you guys.